Hey guys, Christian here. Today we got the BMW 5 Series 2024 edition, the 530i to be exact, and let's just jump straight into the specs. MSRP on this is $66,350, though you can get it for $58,000 without any upgrades. Engine is a 2-liter 4-cylinder with a twin-scroll turbocharger, and transmission is an 8-speed Steptronic with a manual shift mode in case you want the paddle shifters. This has 255 horsepower, 295 torque versus last year's 248 and 258, so it's a nice little bump in power. 0 to 60 is 5.9 seconds, so pretty zippy. MPG is 27, 35 or 30 combined, and the weight is right under 4,100 pounds. So getting onto the outside, we have this in Brooklyn gray metallic. I'm not sure why Brooklyn, but it's a really nice gray. I know we hear a lot of like grays out there, the battleship grays, the destroyer grays, or I don't know, it's just BMW does a really good job with the grays. It has like a bit of a blue hint. I'm not sure if that's entirely from the sky. I guess this would be an interesting color to see like indoors with just white lighting or LEDs. But going on to the wheels, we have 20-inch wheels, M Aero wheels. These are a step up from the 19-inch wheels, so a little bit bigger, and they do have the Aero, these little inserts. I wonder if you could like take these out actually, these little like plastic inserts I see, kind of like the U-shaped things. And then there's also blue brake calipers, which is kind of cool that they're on the front and the back standard. For this model at least, they don't ask you any extra money, but it's really nice upgrade that they added. On the front side, we have the nice LEDs, and with this package actually, they actually have the LED cornering light. So as you're turning the steering wheel, it actually shows like the LED actually giving more light to either the left side or the right side. Just a nice little extra that they added. Right below that, we have the whole front bumper, of course. This is not the stock 5 Series bumper, but the upgraded M Sport line one. So it's an extra 3,000. Comes with the whole M Sport package on the outside, the M Sport steering wheel, better suspension or more sporty suspension, and a couple other things, but just letting you know. We have the kidney grills. I think this is a nice size. I know BMW went kind of crazy, still kind of is, with the really big grills, the kidney grills as we see, but I think this is a good size for the 5 Series. I know overall the aesthetics doesn't match up to like the previous 5 Series, but I think they didn't go too wrong with this. And I do want to mention that the kidney grills are active aero, so those will open up. So I can open them. I'm actually not sure how to activate them, but I guess when the car needs more air or needs to breathe better, higher speeds, or it's heating up too much, it'll open those up as needed. And then of course, you do have your BMW logo. And then yeah, just a lot of nice aero. These are actually real aero, so the air does actually go in there. It's really nice aesthetic with the black on contrast with the Brooklyn gray metallic. So going on to the backside, we have the nice spoiler on the top. It's kind of really small, not in a bad way. Again, for the 530i being the base model, I think it just fits in nicely. It's not too aggressive, not too sporty, not too luxurious. But right below the spoiler, we have the 530i logo. Just fits in nicely. Below that too, we have the LED tail lights. Again, I know everyone's not the biggest fan of the new styling, but I think just overall from what BMW is doing is still a great job. But I do wish there was like a more aggressive like version, or even with the M5, I know it's the more sporty version, but 5 is always known as like the more sporty model compared to the rest of the models. But it seems they took that away, but I feel they could easily reverse that back in future models. But I digress. Going back to this car though, going down below, we have the nice diffuser. It's really simple, not too aggressive, but again, being the 530i with the M Sport package, a little bit more of aggression. And then getting onto the trunk, so if you want to just open it up, handles right in the middle, kind of just like press a button on there, opens up real quick. And then we have about 17 cubic feet of space, though I feel like that might not be entirely true, but I do want to show actually real quick in the middle. If I lift this up, so you will actually see we have actually a spare tire, which again is really nice to have, especially when something happens down the road. No pun intended. But I guess, I don't know if they meant to, like if you need to remove this whole thing, in a sense, whoops. Well, in case you need to remove this whole thing to get that full 17 cubic feet of space, but I guess I'll show you once with doing the trunks challenge just how it looks, and we'll see how it is. Oh yeah, it's pretty tight. Good? Oh, it's so tight. All right, as you guys can see, I don't know where they got the 17 cubic feet meter. Maybe it is without the whole spare tire and everything down here. So I feel that's not entirely true. But it is really tight. You can see even my shoulders are touching on both sides. I guess I could move more back, but it's not really much space. If you have like really like tall luggage, it might be a little tough. But if you have like simple groceries or simple things you got to get to, I think it'd be completely fine. You could also bring down the seats if you need to. Trying to figure out where this handle are, but with the sun hitting me, I can't see it. But let me just go back outside. If you want to close the trunk, actually, there is 2 buttons. There's one to lock it and one to close the trunk. So simply just press that. So before we get inside the car, I'm actually going to show you guys the key fob real quick as usual. So on the key fob, we actually have the BMW logo at the top. You can actually do the engine start if you press it 3 times, or you can also lock it if you just press it once. There's actually buttons on the side of the key fob, which is the unlock, the trunk, and the emergency panic button. I'm gonna open up the door at this point, show you guys what it looks like inside, of course. And then of course we have the window controls up above. Right below that we also have some cubby space. I actually have some napkins there. It seems like I have something new each time. But getting onto the seat controls, we actually have some options there where the backrest, the bottom, which is all automatic, same as the lumbar, so you gotta adjust that. And then if I can reach, if you keep that same camera angle, you can actually pull this out, which I can't fully pull it out right now, but I'll show you that later on. I want to just show you guys the inside of the car at this point. Let's see how it looks. Ooh. So once I'm inside, I didn't mean to make that noise, but let's get onto the steering wheel. So you have a 3-spoke steering wheel. On the left, we kind of have the cruise control options. On the right, we have like the music. We got to answer the phone or kind of going through the menu. The bottom, we have like a nice, it is plastic, I will say, but it has like a nice like sporty edge to it. And then of course, this is the M steering wheel. I wish that this was the red leather, but overall, it's a really nice steering wheel. On the back of this, we do have the 12-inch screen. So really nice cluster that we have. You can actually see this on the default menu, but you can change this if you go into like different M modes. So if you go to like the more sporty one, the more custom one, it gives you like a different background. So getting onto the center stuff, we actually have a nice 14.9-inch display. I'm not sure why they don't just call it a 15. Again, it's really close. I think just rounding it up is completely fine by most people's standards. Again, it's really a nice long screen, and I will give compliments to BMW to just having like one of the easiest or the best, possibly Bluetooth or like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Just the connection is like really easy, really seamless. I barely got into the car and it just connected instantly, and every time I get back into it, it's just like one of the easiest experiences that I've had to deal with. So going on to the AC controls right below the screen, you can also see the ambient light. Right now it's color changing, but you can actually set it to whatever color you like. And then right below that, if you do gotta like, let's say shift where the vent is kind of pointing to either your face or you want to point it a little lower, however you like it. There's like these silicone feeling like roll things. It's kind of interesting, but I think they feel pretty easy to use and I like how they work. And then right below that, we have the wireless charging. So if you got to place your phone there, I actually have my Samsung S24 there, so just simply just place it on there on the left side and for your passenger as well too. There's also 2 cup holders, so you gotta of course put your cups there or any water bottles. And I did bring my big water bottle, brought my hydro flask, and as you can see really easily, it doesn't fit, kind of holds, but as you can see it even fell there. So there's not really anywhere to place it, so it will fail this test unless of course you put it like here in the middle, but I wouldn't recommend that exactly, but I guess that would work too. We're putting this back over here. There's also 2 USB-C ports over here, really hidden. You actually don't see it from when you're sitting here, so some people might not even notice that, but they're kind of like hidden here really nicely in case you ever need to use them. And then going onto the center here, you have so many buttons. I won't go through all through them, but it's just nice to have all your controls for like your M modes, auto stop start. You could actually mess with that. Your volume controls for you and your passenger. And then if you got to go through the wheel in case you don't want to touch the screen, you can also use like this nice wheel, which has a nice feel to it. Almost looks like glass, and yeah, can't go wrong with that. And then for your armrest, you have good space to open up this, open up on both sides. And again, it's not too deep, but in case maybe you want to place your big water bottle, I guess you could have it here, but then you would lose your armrest. But it's a nice thing to have. So I do want to show some of the gesture controls. So like, let's say you have your music playing. So if I have this song playing, you can also like spin your finger and it'll bring the volume up, or bring it down if you need to as well. I can bring it all the way down. And if you got to go to the next song with the volume down at this point, you simply kind of just like, almost like you're pointing this way, and I'll go to the next song, which is kind of nice. And I actually went to my next song. Or if you got to go to your previous song, kind of do the opposite way, going towards you. Though sometimes I feel like it doesn't capture my hand. Maybe I'm just not doing it correctly. But the same way how you go to the right kind of takes to the next song, you can also go to the previous song. And just simple gestures like that, it's really nice. All right, getting inside the back seat. So just gonna step in. As you know, the 5 Series is kind of like a mid-sized sedan. So my knee room's really nice. And I already have this in my position, my driver's position. It's really nice to have a USB-C port here. Maybe you're charging your phone. This is actually set up for like, you open this up and you can also like put a tablet holder or whatever for your kids, or whatever you might need here. It'd just be a really nice thing. It'd be kind of nice if you could put like a little small table, maybe you're eating or something, but I digress. And then going on to the center, we do have 2 AC vents. So we got to just of course adjust them. The same like plastic vents how you saw on the front. That's how you do it. We have 2 USB-C ports more too, in case maybe for your middle passenger, or again, you still have 2 other USB-C ports on both seats. And then there's a little bit of cubby space. Not sure what you would add there. It's really small, I will say. And then you do have a big transmission hub, which seems surprisingly large for this car. I don't know, I feel like transmission wheels maybe should get smaller over time, but it just seems pretty large for this car. And then I do want to show up actually the panoramic roof. So it's actually really nice, really expansive. Makes it feel really open up here. And yeah, you really can't go wrong with this option. So really nice if you can option that out. And then 2 final things I want to mention. The armrest, you just bring this down. Has a little pulley 2 cup holders in case you want to put that or just rest your arm here. And if not, there is also some isofix points, so in case you got to put like a baby seat, it's really easy to put the baby seats on that side and on my side as well too. Getting onto the drive, so to talk about some things, the drive feels really good. It feels responsive when you're driving around. I feel like it's really like it's sticking to what I wanted to do. If you accelerate, oh, it actually sounds pretty nice. You actually hear the turbos there. I'm not sure the camera picked it up, but nice noise. Camera might have shaken a bit, but it's pretty responsive. I will say when I accelerated, it did take a while before it fully kicked in all the power. Of course, also being the turbos as well too, but it has a nice feel. I do feel like this model compared to the previous model that I've driven, it does have more, it feels a little more responsive, which is pretty nice. Overall, I will say also the audio system, this does have Harman Kardon system. Sounds really good. The bass is really good too. The ambient light in this car, I will say, is really nice. Right now I have it on the rose color, but there is other colors you can choose from. You can't fully customize it, I will say that. There's predetermined colors, but overall it's really nice. And then you also have the M Sport modes in case you want different things on the display. The steering on this car is pretty good. I will say the steering wheel is actually nice and it's on the thicker side. It's actually kind of nice grip on it. Might not be the best in case you have smaller hands, but I feel for me it feels really good. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video again for the BMW 5 Series 530i, or the 5 Series as well too. 2024 model in the Brooklyn Gray Metallic, 20-inch M Aero wheels. Can't really go wrong with this, and yeah, it's a good car if you gotta go pick it up right now. But besides that, if you guys liked the video, like and subscribe. If you have any recommendations for future cars or anything you guys would like to recommend or any bad feedback too, I'll take that too. So let me know down below. And again, till next time. And again, thank you guys for watching. We actually reached 1 million views. So I know it took a while. That's kind of my fault for not posting consistently, but trying to get back into it. And again, thank you again.